The state of Six Flags. Six Flags has been on a downward spiral for years, and even merging with Cedar Fair hasn't stopped the bleeding. Let's rewind back to 2009. Six Flags filed for bankruptcy. Fast forward to 2020, the pandemic hits. Parks then shut down and they had to take on a mountain of debt just to stay alive. Then, in the dumbest move ever, after the world opened back up, they decided to raise tickets while just maintaining the same old Six Flags experience. It's not like they had a major update or a rebrand to the parks or something epic like that. They just randomly had a huge price increase out of nowhere. Well, that blew up in their face. Attendance tanked, revenue nosedived, and things got bad really fast. Enter Cedar Fair. Their top rival, who had been outperforming them for years, decided to step in. The two companies merged in 2024 to form a mega regional park empire under the Six Flags name. The goal? Combine forces, pool debt, cut costs, and become more financially stable. Problem is, despite Cedar Fair having their shit together, or so we thought, things got a lot worse. In 2024, the new Six Flags lost $230 million. Not from overspending. Actually, they cut over $200 million in expenses, but that led to a noticeable drop in guest experience. Worse food, fewer staff, slower operations, and ultimately a loss of over $500 million in revenue compared to the previous year. Those are some brutal numbers. Attendance dropped by 7.2 million guests, and this is throughout all of the parks. The spin from their investor presentation tried to paint a better picture, but their own earnings report shows a much darker reality. They've gone from 60 million guests pre-pandemic to just 41 million in 2024. And now in 2025, they're tracking 8% behind where they were this time last year. Yikes. Together, Six Flags and Cedar Fair are now sitting on nearly $5.3 billion in debt, and it's still growing as I speak. So, what's their master plan, you may be asking yourself? Let's get into it. It seems like they have gone into full panic mode. They closed Kingda Ka, the world's tallest roller coaster, and 6 other rides at Great Adventure with zero notice. And the fans are pissed off. And I just want to say, if you didn't know, Great Adventure is one of the top parks in the Six Flags portfolio. It's the one in New Jersey. It's the one that has like a bunch of roller coasters. Obviously, it had Kingda Ka for over 20 years. It was the biggest coaster, one of the biggest draws for a roller coaster in the world. And yeah, they went full panic mode and they closed it. On top of closing, 7 rides at one of the parks, one of their biggest parks, they have now straight up closed an entire park. Yes, that's right. Six Flags America, located just outside of Washington, D.C., will be closing after this season. Why? Well, for one, it's one of their lowest quality parks in the portfolio. Closing it cuts back on a lot of ongoing expenses. But the real reason is because the plot of land they own outside of DC is worth a lot of money. Land in that area is hard to come by, and they have 500 acres that they could sell. They've also made some major changes to how the company is run. Instead of having a president at each park, they removed those positions entirely and replaced them with regional managers overseeing multiple parks at once. There have also been several other layoffs. 10% of their full-time staff was let go, showing just how deep the cuts are getting for this newly merged company. Not looking good, Six Flags. And then last things that I wrote down for the story. Now they claim they are going to reinvest into bigger and more modern attractions at the other parks. But that takes time and money and trust. And right now, Six Flags is short on all three. Their 5-year projections are, let's just say, ambitious. But hey, if their risky strategy does pay off, they could come out on the other side stronger. If not, we could be talking about another Six Flags bankruptcy in the not so distant future. So that's what I wrote for the main story about Six Flags, but I do have some personal thoughts. Most Six Flags parks feel outdated and stale. Nothing new or exciting. Same old rides, many of which haven't been updated or replaced in years. They're still relying on outdated IP, if any at all, which doesn't draw new interest. And I'll stop there and riff a little bit. When you go to these parks, even if you don't go to these parks, you go to their website, their IP that they have is so outdated. I know there's a lot of superhero fans out there. I know a lot of people love DC. I love DC. A lot of the superheroes like Superman and Batman, they're timeless. Like they're absolutely timeless. They can never be replaced. As far as like superheroes go, it's hard to top Superman and Batman. But in today's age, right, the year 2025, Batman and Superman, I don't care what you say, they're old, they're stale. They've been at the parks now for 25 years. Six Flags could have certainly used some brand new IP to bring brand new life into their theme parks. They could have used that 10 years ago, to be honest with you. I'm not saying you got to get rid of the DC areas, but what I am saying is we don't have to have DC be our number one attraction anymore. Like let's license out some huge IP. If there's got to be something out there that Universal and Disney doesn't have their hands on that they could have invested into, but they never did. They just kept relying on DC and the Warner Brothers, like the Looney Tunes stuff that's just so outdated. So yeah, outdated IP is one of my biggest pet peeves about Six Flags. The other thing I said was the theming was never a strong point, but now it's painfully obvious as all of the other parks in the world have evolved. So even smaller regional parks have been evolving and investing in themselves and getting better with theming. Yet Six Flags, the biggest theme park company in the country, they fell behind with theming. They really, really have. They have not invested in theming. It's clearly not a priority for them. And I think it's kicking them in the ass because nowadays, amusement park fans, theme park fans, they want to feel like they're in an immersive world when they step through those gates. While Disney, Universal, and even SeaWorld are innovating and expanding, Six Flags is regressing. The company seems completely out of touch with modern fans and expectations. Then, the way they handled Kingda Ka closing, that was so disrespectful to loyal fans. And I'm not just saying like your local loyal fans. I'm talking about theme park fans as a whole. Theme park fans from around the whole world. You've got to think about those diehard fans. No warning, no farewell, no chance for riders to say goodbye. Just bulldozed it, wrecked it, and said, peace out, see you later. Actions like that show just how tone deaf management still is, even after the Cedar Fair merger. Maybe they're more tone deaf now than they ever have been before with this new president, which I'm not going to get into the new president today. So yeah, there's all my personal thoughts on Six Flags. That's what I think. Drop a comment. Let me know, what do you think about the current state of Six Flags and how they're going about everything from trying to save money to not investing in the right things? Let me know what you think.